sit down, put your seatbelt on, please. Good afternoon, everyone, and how are we doing? Oh, come on, boys. What a beautiful day. Come on. It's good weather. Yeah. Not allowed to whistle on a boat. I'll tell you why in a minute. Only one person is allowed to whistle on a boat. Anybody know who it is? No, it's not the captain, no.
The cook.
The cook, you're right, sir.
Yep.
And the main reason is because if the cook is whistling, he's not eating. You learn something new every day. Trivia. Okay, it's not WestJet, this is not WestJet, it's not Air Canada, it's not an American Airlines, so pay attention. You should start. Introduce our crew. Our captain is Jody Rice. He's the man that's going to get us here. He's the man that's going to get us back. So let's hear it for Jody Rice. Okay. That was good. And our mate with the life jacket is Robbie Gillard. He's over there somewhere hiding behind you. And my name is Bill. And today, hopefully, we're going to have a nice tour of the bay. I tell you, my name is Bill only. We don't need any surnames. I'm in the witness protection program, and my wife is looking for, my ex-wife is looking for more money, so I'm just saying, I'm Bill. Okay. Let's begin with the things that Transport Canada tells me to tell you. First of all, life jackets are located upstairs behind the seats. Clearly marked life jacket lockers. Downstairs to the left and to the right of the bathroom, so for your protection and safety do not have to be worn. However, in the unlikely case that we must have to don a life jacket, Mr. Gillard will show us how to do it. He begins by struggling to get the jacket over his head. Okay, maybe not. Our life jackets, ladies and gentlemen, have never, ever, ever seen water. Now, some of you might think that that's really, really good, but I don't, because we don't know if they work. And we're going to look into that one. No, we know they work. They're stamped by Transport Canada, so that's all to that. Life rafts are located at the stern of the boat, capable of handling everyone on board and many more besides. We have radio communication with other boats in the area, Coast Guard. Many of us have cell phones. You look over here on the starboard side, I will show you where your emergency exits are. So there are many, many, many special geological features in Gros National Park, and the first one is we are about to come to now, right up here. Yes, let's get up and move around and take off your seatbelt and you can move around. Ice Age, about 15,000 years ago. The last glacier came through here and it ripped and tore and gouged and all of this, and when it was finally moved away, this what was left. It's an old seabed, as I said. It's a timeline. As we move from right to left, we're going from newer to older to older to older rock. For every meter, every yard that we move, we're talking anywhere from 25 to 40,000 years. For every millimeter we move, the thickness of a dime, we're talking 100 years. Do we have any Toronto Maple Leaf fans on board? The rock is very, very, very brittle, very unstable. You can see it, they look like sedimentary rock. That's why our captain is going to bring us in nice and close today, just to check all this stuff out. After the right, I see a big boulder. There's a gull on it there. Now look, down nice and low. On the big rock, I see a lot of orange. The orange is lichen, and I have a great dislike for lichen, because what happens is that lichen gets on the rock. Some sea caves, and these caves will give us an idea where water levels were after the last ice age about 15,000 years ago. The piece of ice that covered this whole area was about 3/4 of the The other thing that happened here is the British Navy actually used to anchor out here to the left side of us. And in order to test the accuracy of their cannons, they would shoot at this rock. And children are over here, beach combing, running along, playing in the water. The adults go down and pull up on the beaches, lighting little stoves or coal stoves, and that cooking in the air, having little fire pits and stuff like that, all kinds of little fires that go. And it's safe ones for sure. Goes to the beach, goes to the water, and away it goes. Look how nice and deep the water looks. Look how nice and clear the water. Go Henry and Jane Fonda had a movie about a pond. What was it called? Depth, believe it or not, is 200 meters or over 600 feet. And the deepest point is about 250 meters or 775 feet. Houses there, we would have seen 45 to 55 people. Most of them are Roman Catholics, and most of them by the surname Santos. Over time, they resettled. They were even over there because they hadn't made enough extra money. Now they decided to give people money to move off these islands and become more central areas. It's called centralization or resettlement. Many people decided to do it. 13,000 people in Newfoundland decided to resettle when they saw what the odds were going to be. 130 communities, the roots were ripped up and these people moved to more central areas. But when they went to these big areas, they weren't happy. They didn't like their neighbors, and their neighbors didn't like that, or they didn't like the jobs that they were given, and they didn't like the housing. paying attention, I hope, because if we people from Ontario on board. Anyway, over there, look off to your left, look, you will see the Niagara Falls of Holiday. Now, isn't that beautiful, eh? Left side is the American side, right side is the Canadian side, lights up at night. It is spectacular. Now, that's low tide now. You should see it at high tide. It's exactly the same. The lights up. You don't have a casino there because there are no casinos in Newfoundland. Girls, you can't see it, can you? You turn it. Jay, you got to turn because these two over here get very excited. Big teary-eyed now. I want to see the falls. Isn't that beautiful? Look, that firework one. There's all you can fit there. Okay, you can tell on. I told him to know.
As you look behind us now, the big mountain in the middle, that's our namesake. That's Gros Mountain, right in the middle. It's the second highest mountain in Newfoundland. It's 806 meters high, 2,600.
He did not have a sounder like we have today. What in fact we have was a very large rope, a very long rope, and the rope was marked off in 6-foot sections or fathoms. And at the bottom of the rope, he had a big piece of steel tied on. The bottom part of the steel and the middle section of steel was hollowed out on the bottom, and he would take sheep's fat or camel wax and he would push right up in that little indentation. His crew, after he had his grid all marked off, he would stop at certain points, keeping the boat or the vessel very, very still. Then the rope would be thrown over, and it would, of course, touch the bottom. Then they'd pull it back up. They would be able to tell exactly how deep the water was, and when they turned over that piece of steel and they looked at what was stuck onto the wax, they could tell if the bottom was muddy or sandy or rocky. And that would be very, very important for where they were going to throw their anchor, all these sorts of things. Cook was very, very meticulous, and he spent a lot of time at this mapping and charting. Coast Guard Canada has been back here many, many times, and they have indeed checked some of the soundings that Cook came up with, and they have found there were 240 students in it. In 1982, Newfoundland started grade 12, so then the school changed K to 12. And if we were up there in June when the students got out this year, all the little sweethearts coming with their report cards and all the teachers crying to see them leave. But over here, you could get 50, 60, 70 feet in some of them big valleys up there. So we look off to our left and port side. Look, this is very, very important. People from London, look, there is my Airbnb off to your left there. Look, nestled in the woods, look. All inclusive, bedroom, bathroom, dining room, yes, they had before. It's secluded, it's isolated, it's beautiful, and the price is right. And yes, and you come back in the winter, it's nice and cool. So right straight in here, I see a little old schoolhouse, as a matter of fact, right here. The 9 rectangular windows. It says Sorensen School of Fine Arts Incorporated. Was owned by Lisa Sorensen. She was an artist from Ontario. God bless her soul. She passed away this winter. She has always in classes. She has some many classes. That was a little schoolhouse that was right You could have stayed in the 30s, had your breakfast the next day, and it cost you about $4. You can stay there tonight if you want, and you can have your breakfast tomorrow morning, but you got to pay GST and PST and HST, and you got to pay a surtax, and you got to pay a shipping tax, I suppose. And there's another tax somewhere in the world that we haven't heard about, and it'll cost you about $140, $50. Welcome, and how are you? Cousin Wayne is not on board today. Yeah, no, I don't. Not a bit. What an insult. Cousin Wayne Parsons. No, he's at the Cat Stop drinking beer now. You know, what Todd at the helm was in that. Okay. Now we come to the mobile fleet. They go out searching for fish. That's their job. Okay. So let's see what happens. The captain and the crew get together. There's usually about 7 of them. The mate and the captain go up in that wheelhouse. And their job is to get out there in the North Atlantic. They're not allowed to fish in here. And they are going to find a nice big school of mackerel or herring or capelin. That's what they're after. When they see that that school is big enough and they deem it that they are going to make a good haul, what in effect happens is that little tiny boat on the back, which is called a skiff, they release it. You can see how it is tied to the net. The skiff slides back and it moves away from the mothership. It has a very important job. It has to keep that net away from that boat, besides keeping it taut, because if that net goes underneath that boat, you'll never get enough money to get stuff straightened away in a short period of time. Very expensive. So the skiff pulls back, the skiff driver hauls it back. The mothership then starts going right around, looking at the sounder. They go right around that big school of fish and then in. They pull it in, they close it off at the bottom like a big old drawn purse. Draw purse here, close it up at the bottom, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it on the boat, and at some point in time the fish start to show. A capelin, herring, or mackerel, or whatever. A big pump is then thrown down into the fish, and they start bringing it all into the hole of the boat. They bring it back here. A couple of things can happen. Because this boat is from here and that's a fish plant, they can put it in these big gray or green or blue tubs. They'll be filled up with ice, or a lot of ice destroyed in the fire. The orange one with the green trim was the lightkeeper's house. Not only did he have to light the light in the lighthouse, but he also had to light and extinguish all the street lamps. And there were street lamps on all of these roads and streets around here. Let's look at the lighthouse. The lighthouse was built in 1919. But not that one. That one was built in 1958. If you look on the back of the wheelhouse right here, you see where it was constructed and how it was constructed. Right there. Yeah. That one was built in 1958. It's still a working light. It's been taken over by the town itself. It's supposed to flash at 7-second intervals. However, that does not happen for some reason or other. And we have a big problem with that lighthouse, and that is you cannot see it in the nighttime. Never gonna friggin' wear out, I'll tell you that. It'll rust long before. Now there's way too many holidays again this year. Anyway, boys, we're getting there. It's, yeah. No more holidays. Congratulations!
And steel flashing lights is all that I can see. Let me be good for New York City, but it's so damn good for me. I'm a new